The opportunity cost of your time and energy being stuck in the weeds of your company is unbelievable.
What I've found is when you have a smaller, like leaner agency, like I have this actually with a couple of clients now, I'm a little bit guilty of this, where some of my clients will message me on Facebook, others on Instagram, and others email me. And if you're not building a giant empire, it's like it's actually not a big deal at all. But if you start putting zeros on the number of clients you have that you manage, like that alone can fuck your entire system. And so you mentioned the word centralized, and that's the real key to me is with the whole
Yep.
project management is like we just actually put this in our real estate business. And I wish I could tell you I was smart enough to come up with this, but I just paid for it and had somebody install it for me. That was the real truth of it. But it's amazing because we have a CRM in the case of real estate. It's a lesser, it's one we don't use in the agency space called Podio, but it's set up so that all my real estate, like, so a lead comes in, they're immediately added to the database. Every like piece of information about their house, how much it costs, every conversation with a seller is stored there. It gets passed to my acquisition guy. He updates all of like the conversations. If it gets offered a contract, we put the details of the contract as well as any analysis we run, and it's all stored there. So like, even if that person calls us back 6 months later, we can like pull up their file and see every, like the entire history.
Yep.
And it gets passed over to any contracts we sign. Then also we have all our title companies stored in there. We have our buyers stored in there, all in one place. And they've set
Yep.
it up so like literally with a push of a button, I can get real-time data. I can see like we have this many leads, and we have this many, this is where this is at, this many contracts. And because of it, I'm able to like identify the entire health of a business in like one single frame, and it takes me 30 seconds to do that. And it was a lot of work to get it to that point. Obviously, they spent $250,000 of their own money testing it, but man, does it make life fucking easy that I don't have like, you know, a Facebook to check, an Instagram, blah blah blah. It's like it's all just there in one place. I can find out everything that's going on. And this is kind of what you want your systems and your data to look like, is where you can just like, you should be able to like tell the health of your business in one single screen with a couple of clicks of a button, or get it as close to that as humanly possible, where you can
Yep.
like, and then you can start making intelligent decisions from it. Like, hey, why are our leads down? Why we have so many of these? Why don't we have any contracts? What's going on here? Or hey, it seems like we have deals in place, but they're not closing. Like, what's the hold up here? You can start like intelligently solving the problems that actually matter.
Yep, 100%. And if we're going back to the definition of operations, right? Optimizing time and energy, knowing that that's possible, because it is, right? Single source of truth. What you just described, Frankie, is literally the system that I recommend agencies use for exactly the same function. Bring everything together, have it all centralized, right? Knowing that that's possible. What that means is every single second and every single ounce of energy that you as a founder are investing in figuring out what's going on in your business is wasted time, is wasted energy, because it should be as easy as looking at a dashboard and understanding that in 30 seconds. And so
Yeah.
if you're taking more than 30 seconds to do it, you are losing out on all the time and energy that could be reinvested into doing what you do best, namely growing your damn business, driving the next wave of revenue, figuring out the next strategic partner, launching the next like campaign, right? The opportunity cost of your time and energy being stuck in the weeds of your company is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so when people ask me like, but how does operations, why is it ROI? Why should I invest in it? How does it drive the money pipeline? You're the money pipeline. And if all of your time and energy is being sucked into just managing the day-to-day of your business and figuring out what the hell is going on, then you are losing out on all of the revenue that you could be generating if 90% of your day was just spent doing that.
Yeah. Even just sometimes, like, because we talked about this at the start, is like it can show up as a sales bottleneck, where if you're the
Yep.
single salesperson in your company, and the sales process is a little bit different each time, and you're still doing like sales calls, and people are booking 2 weeks out, like half the time by the 2 weeks out, they go, who are you? And what is this about
Right.
again? Right. And as where if you
Right.
had like
Yep.
tighter operations, where instead of 2 weeks, that was 2 hours, or
Mm-hmm.
even like less than that, where you're getting on them like as soon as they say they're interested, you'll
Yep.
notice like a marked improvement in your sales. And it won't be because you like actually got better at your pitch
At
or
sales.
your offer or anything.
Correct.
Just
Correct.
just strike while the
Yep.
iron's hot, because you have the operational efficiency to do that. And so I
Yep.
definitely see
Exactly.
like a lot of that where people are just kind of winging it. Like I see it in a lot of
Yep.
six-figure agencies. The the sales and lead process is winging it. And I wish I could tell you guys like I'm super smart and figured any of this out. Usually, like I said, most of the stuff I've like had mentors. Just funny little story on that. I actually had a conversation with Ryan Dice at Traffic and Funnels. He was about to go on stage and he was in the corner of the room and nobody saw him. So I went over to talk about some stuff. Like I'd seen him the year before and I was telling him about some stuff I was working on and just gave him a little update. And he told me they own 40 companies, 40. And most of those are like at the bare minimum 7-figure companies. And I said, how the hell do you manage 40 companies? And he said, Monday morning, he sits in a meeting. The meeting's 90 minutes long, and they go through and they look at the numbers and the health of each business, and they make decisions in 2 or 3 minutes about each business. And they just go through them rapid fire. Business one, what are we doing here? Okay, business two. And they do that each Monday, once a week. And if you
Wow.
have this kind of operational efficiency, which obviously he does, you can manage that kind of like the chaos. Just think about all the teams in the system. And some of these are like physical products. So there's like logistics of shipping things and upsells and sponsors and all those things. And he's able to just like look at the health of a couple of charts and
Yep.
graphs and make a decision in
Yep.
2-3 minutes and improve that business week by week by week by week. And that's I'm not saying like you guys have to bring it to that level, because you're not, most of us here aren't trying to build 40 multi-million-dollar businesses. But if you can just have the one thing you have be close to that, what you'll find is you can spend a lot more time on the beach. You can spend a lot more time going hiking. And it's better for your fucking clients because like shit gets done as it's supposed to. It's kind of boring for them, right? Like it should be this
Yep.
boring, predictable kind of machine.
Yep.
Any final thoughts before we give you a giant plug and tell everybody where to go?
Well, it's beautiful because you just covered pillar number 6, right? Which is data. The final thing I'll say, I think you covered it beautifully, Frankie, as far as why is data important and what should it look like. The final thing I'll say is as far as why most people never are able to scale out of the weeds of their business is because trying to scale out of the weeds without data feels like walking next to a cliff with a blindfold on. If you're starting to escalate yourself out, step out, be less involved, delegate, not see everything that's happening, not be personally involved in everything, but you don't have any way of seeing that the right things are still getting done, this is your fucking baby. You're not going to just walk out the door and leave it in somebody else's hands. There has to be that visibility piece where you're able to still ensure clients are being served, business is still growing. If there's a problem, I can see it and then I can go in and I can fix it. And so most business owners that I know will actually keep themselves trapped in the weeds of the business because it's their source of visibility and safety to just be able to look around and know that everything's okay. So I'm telling you guys again that that's a choice. There is a way of scaling yourself out of your business where Ryan Dice can have 100% confidence in the health and well-being of 40 businesses with 90 minutes a week. That's possible, right? You just need to have the right systems in place. And the final thing I'll say about this, Frankie, because you said, you didn't build your single source of truth. You had somebody come in and do it. Guys, if we're getting to the end of this episode and you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to build any of this. I get that I have operational bottlenecks. I get that there's solutions here, but I like the idea of learning how to fix these things is literally nails on a chalkboard. The fantastic news for you is that it's not your job. Let me say it again. It is not your job. Your job is to be the CEO and visionary and founder of your business. It is not your job to figure out how to build a ClickUp dashboard and a data dashboard and rebuild the meetings in your company and fix the team hiring processes and have, right? Like that is your operator's job. There's a whole class of human beings out there that I try and represent who really fucking love systems and data and SOPs,
Yeah.
and we want to build that for you. Your
Yeah. Can I
job
just
is to
add
just
that
find us.
there are exceptions, but for the most part, I find people largely fall into one of two camps. One is
Yep.
that they love being the face of the brand and promoting and marketing. I fall into that category personally. Like I could
Yep.
just talk about the shit all day. Or they fall into the operations. Like I just wish people would just hire me and I could just do SEO all day because I'm really fucking good at SEO and like wish I didn't have to sell it and promote it. Both of those are operations challenges in different ways. But
Yep.
what Jhana's talking about here is like, you know, really like what we would call like doubling down on your strengths and everything else,
Yes.
making somebody else's job. Because it took me a lot of years to realize like there's other people who love the shit you hate. And so
Yes.
you think like, a lot of times like you hate it. And so you're casting this awful work upon someone else. But there's somewhere out there, like, I still check in with one of my Facebook ads guys who's, been with me for like 2 years. And I say like, cause I hate the Facebook ads manager with a passion. And I'm like, are you still having fun with this? And he's like, dude, I love it. I'm learning so much. This is so
Yep.
cool. And like there's
Yep.
ways for you guys to build this where people are complementary to the things you're not enjoying. In fact, there's no rule that even says you have to be the face of the brand. Like you can actually build an entirely like invisible kind of
Yep.
expertise business if you want to. Like you can actually be
Yep.
totally invisible in that process and just have, you know, systems and teams and processes on both ends. But I usually find the reason I say that is for most of you guys, I'd say probably about 75% of you, you're like me, where you like talking about the things you do, you like sharing cool ideas, you like, you know, showing people what's possible with digital marketing. But that doesn't mean you like want to log into the website and create the backlink and your password is never fucking complicated enough for these websites. Like, no, you need the Batman symbol and an upside down question mark and, you know, some kind of Chinese character for it to pass. Are these, and then you got the robot telling you, like, are these really motorcycles and mountains and crosswalks and all that kind of bullshit?
This is
And
challenging for you, I can tell.
and anyways, point being is that like you can totally remove yourself from all that stuff and
Yep.
have
And
like a
let
better
me,
business for it.
right, that's the key, right? Because most people refuse to delegate operations because it's annoying, right? It's annoying, but I can still do it. It's annoying, but I can outwork the problem. It's annoying, but that's not a big enough reason for me to spend my own money and my business's money to fix the annoying. I'm just going to keep out showing up and doing it. Guys, it's not annoying. It is, but that doesn't matter. You're going to outwork it. It's expensive because there are people like me out there who not only want to do this work, they can do it faster, they can do it better. The result is actually going to be a better outcome done in less time. And all of the time and headache that you would have invested into figuring this thing out can now go and turn around and drive growth into your business. You are losing revenue by forcing yourself to learn operations, by forcing yourself to wear hats that you truly hate and that you are bad at, right? Versus delegating that out for a fraction of the cost and then taking all of that time that you get back and reinvesting it where you are actually great at driving growth to your business.
Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll also like my book on Amazon called Beyond the Agency Box, which you can also find by my name, Frankie Finn, and it's got a lot of awesome reviews. And it really just goes deeper on a lot of things we're talking about, everything you need to grow and start a lifestyle agency, from the stages you'll go through to getting clients, to how to create winning offers, to high value deliverables, to wowing clients, to building teams, to building systems, and building a boring factory that's like a 7-figure money machine for you. So if you're interested, I put links for you in the video description, as well as it'll be in the pinned top comment below, and make sure to check those out.